Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ksenia. I make videos for people who are going through the family-based immigration process. I'm not an attorney. My videos are based on public information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. And the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. In today's video, we're going to fill out the form I-864W, the exemption from the Affidavit of Support. Before we move forward, I do want to direct you guys to a video I recently made discussing the different types of affidavit of support and which type of affidavit of support would be best for your case. I also do have a quick introductory video for people who are using the I-864W for 40 Social Security quarters. And so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to exactly fill out this form. And I will also be referencing the form instructions as we go through. And again, let's quickly review who is eligible to use this form. So first, it is people, like we mentioned before, who have earned 40 Social Security credits of coverage by working in the United States for about 10 years, because we get 4 quarters per year. However, that is not always the case. If an applicant themselves did not earn 40 quarters, but have a qualifying spouse or a parent who earned these quarters, they may use them for their own case as long as you are married during the time your spouse earned these quarters, or as long as you were under 18 during the time your parent earned these quarters. Or it can be a combination of two. So for example, an applicant may have earned 30 quarters and they're short about 10 quarters to qualify for this form, but they were married to their spouse for some time who is able to donate or use those 10 quarters for the purposes of your form. And at the end of this video, for these particular situations, I will also list the evidence that you would need to submit. Another very common reason people use I-864W is for an applicant who is a child who will become a U.S. citizen upon becoming a green card holder immediately. So this could happen in a case where this U.S. citizen parent will petition them using the I-130 petition, and then the child will go through all of the regular steps of becoming a permanent resident by submitting either the DS-260 form overseas or adjusting status in the United States. And once they become a lawful permanent resident, they will also automatically become a U.S. citizen. In that case, instead of submitting the form I-864 for their green card case, their petitioning parent may use the form I-864W. There are additional reasons why people use 864W, and that is if you are a widower of a U.S. citizen and you have self-petitioned using the form I-360, or if you are a self-petitioning battered spouse or child. So start at part 1, provide the name of the requester. So this form is requesting that the applicant is to be exempted from the affidavit of support. The regular affidavit of support form I-864 is filled out by the sponsor, the petitioner. However, if an applicant is eligible for an exemption, then this form I-864W will be filled out by the applicant. If you are filling out this form for a minor child who will automatically become a U.S. citizen upon receiving their green card, this would be also that child's name. So first, provide your name. By the way, you do not have to type in all capitals. That is just my personal preference. Next, provide your mailing address. You would only write in care of name if somebody else receives mail on your behalf at your address. But if you are able to receive mail at this address yourself, then you can skip line 2A and simply provide your address here. So in the mailing as well as the physical address, you will simply provide the current addresses of the requester, the applicant, the person who is applying for the green card. If they are currently residing in the United United States, then this would be their US address. And if they are residing overseas, then this would be their overseas address. Next, answer the question if your mailing address is the same as your physical address. If you live at this address, then you click yes and simply can skip lines for A through for H. And if you receive mail at a different address, then you will answer no and provide the physical address of where the applicant actually resides. Next, provide this person's date of birth, city or town of birth, province of birth, if applicable, and country of birth. Provide your alien registration number if you have one. So if you do not have an A number, you can simply leave it blank. A USCIS online account number is only available for those who have ever filed any online applications in their USCIS online account. So if you don't have one or you cannot locate it, you can also leave it blank. And finally, if you do not have a social security number, then you can leave it blank. However, if you are applying based on the 40 social security quarters, then in that case, you probably do have a social security number because you would be required to legally work in the United States with proper work authorization in order to be able to earn those quarters, unless of course you're using your spouse's quarters for the purposes of this form. Moving on. So part 2 simply asks you to provide the reason for exemption. You need to specify what kind of applicant you are, and these directly correlate to the 4 reasons that are listed on pages 1 and 2 of the form instructions. Let's say in our case, we have earned 40 quarters of Social Security coverage. Finally, provide the requestors, so the intending immigrant's contact information and statement. So if you are the kind of requester in types of 1A, 1C, or 1D, you would select that you can read and understand English, or an interpreter translated the form for you, and provide the language if necessary. And then you can provide your contact information and then provide your signature and date. So you can type up the date on the computer, but then the signature must be made in a black pen. Now, if you are the kind of applicant who is a child, in that case, you can still select the box 1A, but then also select the box 2 and write your name as this child's parent in this box, as well as then providing your details in part 5 of this form as the preparer. In terms of the signature then, if you are helping fill out this form for a minor child, if the child is under the age 14, you may sign the form on their behalf and in parentheses either write parent or write by and provide your full name. However, if the minor child is age 14 or older, they can sign this form perfectly by themselves. And finally, the last page, which is the additional information page, is used to clarify anything that you wish to clarify in the main portion of the application. Even if you're not clarifying anything, and even if you leave this blank, do not leave the name portion blank on this page. So now let's quickly talk about the evidence necessary for this form. Applicants who are submitting their application based on reasons 2, 3, and 4 do not have to provide any evidence for this form. And applicants who are submitting their application based on reason 1 do have to provide evidence. And it is as follows. And this evidence can be downloaded directly from your Social Security Administration online account. The Social Security statement about the earnings that you have made in the past years. You need to obtain a statement, which you can also download from the same site, showing that you did not receive any means-tested public benefits during that time. You will also need to provide a screenshot from your front page when you log in, which tells you how many credits or quarters of SSA coverage you have earned. Next, you will need to provide all documents that show that you were authorized to work in the United States and that you earned these credits while you were authorized to work. It either could be copies of all your EADs or a copy of I-797 Notice of Action that demonstrates the type of visa you hold that makes you eligible to work in the United States. If you are combining these quarters with your spouse, you will need to provide a copy of your marriage certificate. You will also need to provide all the same Social Security statements for your spouse, and same applies to your parent. It is also highly recommended that you create a separate cover letter explaining how you qualify to use the form I-864W. So, I hope that you found this video useful. Let me know if you have any additional questions. If you have questions about anything Affidavit of Support related, please check out my Affidavit of Support playlist. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!